Welcome to the Shift Your Story, Change Your Life podcast. I'm Allie Rose, certified clinical hypnotherapist and subconscious success coach. I help my clients stop self-sabotage and feel safe to create more wealth, worth, and wellness from within. If you find yourself stuck repeating the same unhelpful patterns in your life, health, business, or relationships, even after all the mindset work, this podcast is for you. Each week, you'll hear deep dives into the hidden beliefs shaping your life and live hypnocoaching sessions where someone shifts a block in real time. Because willpower isn't the problem, your subconscious story is. And when you shift it at the root, everything else begins to change. So let's dive in. Hello. Welcome back to the Shift Your Story, Change Your Life podcast. Today's episode is a little different and it's incredibly powerful. You're going to listen in on a real hypnocoaching session with someone I had never met before. This was our very first conversation, and she courageously said yes to being coached live. She also chose to remain anonymous, so if anything feels like it skips, that's just me protecting her privacy. The heart of the session is still here. Before we dive in, here's what you need to know. This caller has done a lot of work. She's been in the personal development world for years. She's coached others, she's worked on herself, and yet she's still finding herself stuck. Stuck around her purpose, stuck around taking action, stuck in that in-between place of knowing there's more and not feeling safe to go after it. If you have ever felt like your body says no when your mind is saying yes, like something inside of you is just not letting you move forward, you are not alone. So as you listen, I want you to reflect on this. Where in your life are you still holding back to stay safe? What part of you learned that playing small equals love, approval, or survival? And I want you to see if you can guess the real block before we name it together in the session. One final note, because this was a hypnocoaching session, you'll hear parts of the process. I've edited out the full hypnotic induction, not because it's not important, but because it's not safe to include that part when you might be listening while driving. But you'll still get the full impact of the session. Let's dive in. So, I wanted to ask you, is it a part of you that feels blocked around your purpose, or just the phrasing part of you that feels unclear?
I feel like I think it's a black around a purpose. I know a lot. I've been in self development for a very long time,
Mhm.
and I was discussing with my mom when she's in town visiting that um just the way I was raised and what I saw growing up, everything. It's just that part is just like, well, this is familiar, and you're trying to because I got into self development and I've done a lot of work and had a lot of experiences that were outside of my comfort zone. It's like no, and it's to that point where like the relationship, the marriage that I'm in, I know is it's time, and I think there's a part that's like, no, we're not. So I might be in the shower and I might have an idea, like, oh, I could do this, and then it's just like, no, nobody would pay for that, right? It just like shuts it down. So like ideas might come in or whatever. I know that I'm meant to do. I've been a coach and I had a job that I actually was coaching. I'm really good at it. I mean, goodness, very good at it, right?
Mm.
And then I didn't have any more hours with the job, so I left the job. So I'm out here unemployed right now, but just really good at parenting, like lot, just some good stuff that could be offered, but there's just, and I've done it, but then it's like not on a big scale, like you know what I mean, like small scale, and And now that I was wanna leave the relationship, then nothing is happening, like,
Right.
nothing.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. So it
Yeah,
sounds like there's a part of you that's pretty scared. Um,
of the unknown, and we talking 22 years, and we're talking, you know what I mean? Like, it's a lot, and it's like, oh, you know, I I feel like I've been called to be a cycle breaker, right? And I have
mhm,
been breaking a lot of cycles, but it's like, you're
mhm.
moving too fast. Like, my nervous system was like, "You are moving way too fast for me, so I'm gonna shut this down," right?
R
And so nothing is happening.
right, right, right.
Nothing.
Yeah, yeah.
Mhm,
So when we go into the session, would it be good to say part of you that shuts down around pursuing your purpose?
mhm.
Okay. All right.
Yeah,
Tell me about your
yeah,
upbringing a little bit.
yeah. Well, so we grew up not having a lot of money. Like, my mom tells me stories about, like, "Oh, we were so poor that I used to have to eat your baby food," stuff like that. So we didn't have a lot. Now, I don't even remember that, but, like, growing up, I just know that my dad wasn't the best provider. He was,
Mhm,
like a passive man, and my mom pretty much, like, ran him, and when she saw that he just wasn't gonna do a good job with, um, taking care of the family, then she went back to work 'cause,
okay.
she was off with us till I was, like, 11, and then
Mhm,
she went back to work, she started making money,
mhm,
and then she started taking care of everything and paying for everything and, things like that, but she was cheap, so everything had to be on sale, and I just remember a lot of scarcity and not enoughness, and then just a lot of unhealthiness as far as a marriage. I did not see, any fulfillment. I saw poverty, cheapness, scarcity, and I saw my dad try to have businesses and not be successful. He'd make flyers and then, like, maybe get some clients, and then it wouldn't work. Like, he wasn't ever able to make a success. It was, like, more of, like, a hobby, and my mom would be complaining, and she worked a job she hated when she complained every day, so she ended up making pretty good money, but it was a complaint. Everything was she was miserable, right?
mhm.
So I just didn't see what I'm trying to be. What I'm trying to be, I didn't see. Like, that rhymes. But
Right, right.
yeah, so that's kind of my
Yeah,
story in a nutshell.
yeah. No, I appreciate that. It's good to have some background before we dive in. So, is
Mhm.
there anything else that you think would be important for me to know before we dive in?
Um, y- yeah. I guess maybe I would just, like I said, I feel like I'm meant to be a cycle breaker. I really want to be able to. My daughters are already, fans of their mom because I've done a lot of work and I'm really good at the parenting thing, but I really would like to, I mean, they don't even want me to be in the relationship anymore with their dad because there's no growth there. And yeah, but it's just hard just even thinking about moving into a life of being a single, mom and woman and I don't have any at this point, like I said, I'm not working at this point, so I'm, like, completely dependent on him and financially, yeah, I don't know, I would like to be able to earn some money, and nothing is working. I went on a interview with this job to be a coach, and I discovered you could get a job as a coach. I thought I could do that for now if I do have a business, at least, you know, and I just, like, froze, which
Mhm.
I've never done before in my life when they asked me a question, like, I literally froze.
Right.
Yeah, so I just need some help. That's it. I think that's all.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
Wonderful. Well, do you feel ready to dive into hypnosis?
Sure.
Okay. Perfect. All right. So just go ahead and make yourself comfortable. And now I want you to just look up as high as you possibly can, as if you were trying to look into your own eyebrows, keeping your eyes glued to a real or imagined spot overhead. Just breathe in and out. So just one more time. Go deeper, drift deeper, sink deeper, at least 100 times deeper. You are responding perfectly, exactly as I knew you would, because I already know that you are incredibly open, receptive, and suggestible, and your mind is incredibly powerful. So now we're going to explore this part of you that shuts down around pursuing your purpose. I want you to just imagine that you've gone inside yourself, but you found the part of you that shuts down around pursuing your purpose because it thinks it might have some useful role, function, purpose, and or intention in your life. And I just want you to scan your body for a moment. And if you can, tell me when you notice, where are you holding this part of you that shuts down around pursuing your purpose?
Mm. Throat area.
Okay. If you were to give this part of you a color, texture, shape, or size, what would it look like?
Orange, square,
Mhm.
bumpy.
Okay. And how do you feel about this part of you? What emotions come up for you whenever you're tuning into this part of you that shuts down around pursuing your purpose?
Hopeless, helpless.
Mhm. So I want you to just imagine that you're able to pull this part of you, this orange, square, bumpy part of you that has taken up residence in your throat area. I want you to imagine that you can pull it out of you and you're looking at it. You can see the picture of this part of you. And I want you to ask this part of you, what is your role in my life? Why are you here?
Keep me safe.
What is it keeping you safe from? Go ahead and ask it.
Yeah. A life of uncertainty.
Hmm. Okay.
That's all I'm hearing.
That's okay. That's perfect. And I want you to ask it, why do you need to do this?
It's just not good to be uncertain. Got to be in control.
Hmm. Because if you're not in control, then what could happen?
End up end up broke, homeless,
Hmm.
and devastated, devastating the children.
Okay. I want you to go ahead and ask this part of you, what is your function in my life?
to to keep me exactly where I'm at
Go
and
ahead.
familiar.
Mhm, mhm. Yeah. And I want you to ask it, why do you need to do this?
because you have children to take care of, you have to be responsible.
Mhm. Okay. I want you to go ahead and take a deep breath in. You're doing great. And now I want you to go ahead and ask this part of you, what is your purpose in my life?
Say it again to keep you safe exactly where you're at. All right, we're going to ask it one more question. I want you to ask it, what is your only intention in my life? Just to keep me safe.
Right? And it needs to do this because,
I just I just heard, like, it's evolutionary.
hmm, yeah, very true. Right. Our brain is wired to keep us alive, right? So it's equating you pursuing your purpose with maybe with death, maybe. All right. And now I want you to ask this part of you. When did you first come into my life? What was going on?
I'm not hearing anything.
Mm. Any memories coming up about when you remember this part or this feeling first coming into your life?
Um, no, nothing's coming up. I don't know.
That's okay. I want you to just call this part to mind again as if we're talking to it. And I want you to ask it. I want you to ask it, can you show me or can you remind me when you first came into my life?
When when I was 11,
Mhm.
mom, uh, mom, mom devastated us by going to work. And, we were latchkey kids.
Mm, mhm. And what did that cause you to believe about yourself, the world, or other people when you were 11 years old and your mom devastated you by going back to work?
That she that me, younger me, that she uh, abandoned us. She didn't put us first.
Mm, yeah. So I wonder if this part of you I know you have 3 daughters, and so I wonder if this part of you is protecting you from repeating that cycle of abandoning, or that it would indicate to your family that you didn't put them first if you pursued your purpose.
Oh, that's it.
Oh,
That's
yeah,
it.
you felt it?
That's it.
Yeah.
I just wanna be there for them and be present, but she wasn't present, and we suffered.
Mm, yeah. I want you to go ahead and take a couple of deep breaths in because you're doing so good, and that part of you is doing so good. So now you can see why you came up with this, right?
Yeah,
Why you created this part, not only to protect you, but I feel like maybe mostly to protect your daughters, right? To not become
yeah,
that person, right?
yeah, yeah,
And the beautiful thing is that it's great that you came up with it because if you did, that means you can also let it go, right?
mm,
We all create things in our minds. There was a time in our lives when we believed in the tooth fairy or, and then we decided at some point that that wasn't a belief that we wanted to believe anymore and we let it go. So I want to ask you, how is this working for you right now? Like, is it actually working, or what are the ways that it's not working for you to just not pursue your purpose?
it's not first of all, I don't have any money, and so I'm completely dependent,
Mhm.
and my daughters, they want me to pursue my purpose, and and I wanna be an example for them. I want them to, I want them to see me in purpose and service. Um, so I'm not being that role model that I would like to be able to be for them. I'm not being the woman that I would want them to see.
Right, right. Absolutely. Right. So this part of you served a purpose because every part of us believes that it's doing something good for us, right?
Yeah, yeah,
However, I feel like it's a very young part, right? It came into your life when you were 11 years old.
mhm,
You're no longer 11 years old,
right,
right?
right.
So I want you to tell me and tell that part, how are you different now than when you were 11 years old?
Well, first of all, I'm 49.
Uh-huh. Yeah.
Um, and I definitely have a lot of wisdom, and I definitely have a higher level of consciousness than an 11-year-old or me at 11. Um, I have skills and I have talents, and I've been able to like help people, and when I work with people, it's like gold,
Mm,
and I'm the best kept secret. They people are missing out.
right. Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, you have all these new and different resources at your disposal that you didn't have when you were 11 years old. Right.
Right. Right.
I also want you to tell me and this part of you, how are you different than your mom, or how is your life different than your mom's life?
Yeah. Yeah. I'm a lot different. Emotionally, I'm emotionally mature. I am have been emotionally present for my girls, and um I mean, one of them is 20, so she's good. The other one is 17 and thriving. the 10-year-old. She's the most expressive person, a validator. I'm in tuned. I'm there. I've set a really good foundation for the girls
Right.
that they would be okay, and that at this point, me not doing anything
Mhm.
more would actually affect them.
Right. Right. Absolutely. So I want you to just go ahead and tune into that part again. And I want you to ask that part of you, what does it need from you in order to feel safe enough to kind of release its grip or leave from your life? Is there anything that you can be doing practically and tangibly to help it feel safe to leave?
Okay. Um, because the girls are so important, is to let that be the North Star of my why.
Mm-hmm.
It's being the woman that, is a good role model and that I would like to see in them in the future. So just having that as my why and my North Star and uh, reminding that part that this is why I'm doing this,
Right.
actually for them, that me not doing my purpose is not actually helping them at all at this point.
Right. Right. Absolutely. Okay. So all it needs is a bit of a reminder. Like,
A reminder.
okay.
Yeah.
All right. Perfect. And if you are able to do that, if you do that for that part, would it be willing to loosen its grip on you? Would it be willing to allow you to explore your purpose? Go ahead and ask it.
Yes.
Okay. Perfect. So now I just want you to go ahead and repeat after me. We're going to thank this part. Thank you for helping me the way you did.
Thank you for helping me the way you did.
Had a very powerful impact on my life.
You had a very powerful impact on my life.
You've been keeping me safe for 38 years,
You've been keeping me safe for 38 years,
but I don't need you in the same way anymore.
but I don't need you in the same way anymore.
And I want to let you now just say anything else that you feel like you need to say to this part in order to just let it release a little bit. You can say it out loud or you can say it in your mind. And if you say it in your mind, just let me know when you're done.
Okay. Okay.
Okay. And I want you to tune back into that area in your body where you were initially holding it. And I want you to just tell me, has anything shifted at all there? Does it feel any different?
Mhm.
How does it feel now?
Just clear, just regular,
Mm,
normal.
okay. Perfect. Perfect. All right. One last thing that we're going to do before we close up. I want you to go ahead and I want you to just put a picture of your 11-year-old self, if you can, in your mind.
Mhm.
Let me know when she's there or a picture of hers there.
I see her.
Okay. And I just, she created this part and how smart and wonderful and beautiful that somehow as an 11-year-old, you knew that you would need this part of you to keep you safe. But I want you now, as an older, wiser version of yourself, I want you to just imagine talking to that 11-year-old version of you. What does she need to hear from you?
I got this now.
Hmm.
You don't have to try to, um, protect, my girls from what you experience. I can do that. I can take it from here.
Yeah. Okay. Anything else?
Thank you for trying. You were doing your best.
Yeah. Beautiful. Beautiful. All right, I want you to go ahead and take another deep breath in. Just allow this new feeling, just feeling clear in that space that used to hold tension, just settle into your body. And I want you to just picture that small child, the younger you. She's now hovering just above your head. She's slowly descending down, dropping down, merging into your body, merging into your heart, merging into your life now. You feel her merged within you now. And she's never ever going back because that child, the younger you, is now taking up residence in you as an adult. She's free now. She's had a massive upgrade into your life. And you are free now to be the person, the adult that you choose to be. And now, as you are seeing this, feeling this, believing this, feeling wonderful, amazing, and free, I'm going to count you back to full awareness. With each number, you will become more aware of your surroundings, bringing this feeling back to the room. So, on the count of one, you're becoming more aware. On the count of two, you're aware of the room and the sounds around you. On the count of three and four, go ahead and take a deep breath in. And on the count of five, whenever you feel ready, you can open your eyes and come back to the room.
Okay.
How was that for you?
Looks good. Thank you.
Yeah, absolutely. You feel like you have some more clarity now on where that
Oh,
was coming
yeah.
from? Yeah.
Oh, yeah. I'm grateful.
Yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely. And I want to ask you, so do you feel like when you feel that coming up, right? That part said it needed to be reminded that girls are your North Star. Let that be the reminder. Feel like you can
Mhm.
do that?
Yeah. 100%.
Okay. Well, I'm so grateful that you trusted me in this process. So thank you so much for being here.
Thank you. I appreciate you.
I just want to take a moment to thank our caller for her honesty, her openness, and her willingness to let us witness this process. What we uncover today is something I see all the time, especially in women who've done so much work. The ones who've read the books, gone to therapy, journaled it out, and still find themselves stuck in something that doesn't seem to make sense on the surface. Not because they're doing something wrong, but because their subconscious is still holding on to an old definition of safety. If that's you, if today's episode felt a little too familiar, I want you to know this: you're not broken. You're just running a pattern that started a long time ago, and it can change. This is exactly the kind of work I do in my one on one coaching. And if you're ready to work with someone who sees the whole picture, not just the symptoms, I'd love to support you. Head to shiftyourstorypodcast.com or click the link in the show notes to book your connection call. And let's figure out what's actually going on beneath the surface for you. And if this conversation moved something in you, would you share it with someone else who might need to hear it? So I'll leave you with this. What story about success or safety might still be running your life? And what would become possible if that story wasn't in charge anymore? I'm sending you so much love and gratitude. Until next time. Thank you so much for joining us today for this episode of the Shift Your Story, Change Your Life podcast. If today's conversation sparked something in you, I'd love to hear about it. Feel free to send me a message on social media. I'm at the Allie Rose on both Facebook and Instagram. And if you want to be coached on a future episode or explore what it would look like to work with me one-on-one, head over to shiftyourstorypodcast.com unsafe.com. And if you never want to miss an episode, make sure to subscribe and leave a rating and review. It helps more people find this work. Until next time, keep shifting, keep growing, and most importantly, I want you to remember that your story isn't set in stone. You always have the power to shift it.